The quantum phase reconnaissance ship Silent Observer drifted through the void like a whisper of darkness against the starfield. Its hull composed of metamaterial that bent electromagnetic radiation around its surface, rendering it invisible to conventional sensors. The vessel was a masterpiece of hegemony engineering, designed specifically for deep reconnaissance missions into hostile territory. Its crew of 3 represented the finest intelligence operatives the galaxy had to offer. Inside the cramped bridge, 3 alien beings hunched over their instruments, their forms illuminated only by the soft glow of holographic displays. The ship's interior was a study in efficiency. Every surface served a purpose, every system was redundant, and every piece of equipment had been tested in the harshest environments known to galactic civilization. Commander Vexthar of the Hegemony Intelligence Division adjusted his 4-armed frame in the command chair, his reptilian eyes scanning the tactical readouts with the precision of a predator. His species, the Saurians, had evolved from apex hunters on a world where only the most cunning survived. After months of preparation and a journey that had taken them across half the galaxy, they had finally reached the edge of the Sol system, the home of the species that had somehow destroyed 17 separate invasion fleets without leaving a trace of evidence. The mystery of Earth had consumed the Galactic Council for decades. Fleet after fleet had been dispatched to deal with the human problem, and fleet after fleet had simply vanished. No distress signals, no debris fields, no survivors. Just silence where once there had been the most powerful military forces in known space. "Status report," Vexthar commanded, his voice a low hiss that his universal translator rendered into the common galactic tongue. Lieutenant Zara Keth, her crystalline form refracting the bridge lighting into prismatic patterns, responded without looking up from her station. Her species, the Vorthans, were living crystals capable of processing information at quantum speeds. All stealth systems operating at maximum efficiency, Commander. We are currently positioned 3 astronomical units from the 3rd planet. Their primitive sensors show no indication of our presence. The 3rd member of their reconnaissance team, Nexus 7, was more machine than organic, a cybernetic intelligence housed in a sleek metallic chassis. His optical sensors glowed amber as he processed incoming data streams at superhuman speeds. The collective had created him specifically for this mission, combining their most advanced AI with biological neural tissue to create the perfect intelligence-gathering organism. "I have successfully infiltrated their communication networks," he announced, his voice carrying the precise modulation of artificial intelligence. "Their encryption protocols are surprisingly sophisticated for such a young species, but not beyond my capabilities. I am currently monitoring 17 different military communication channels, 43 civilian networks, and over 300 entertainment broadcasts." Vexthar's mandibles clicked with satisfaction. The hegemony had learned the hard way that underestimating humans was a fatal mistake. This time, they would gather intelligence first, understand their enemy's capabilities, and then strike with overwhelming force. No more mysterious disappearances. No more fleets vanishing without explanation. "What have you discovered about their military capabilities?" the commander asked, leaning forward in his chair. Nexus 7's optical array flickered as he processed terabytes of intercepted data. Their surface-based military forces appear conventional by galactic standards. Kinetic weapons, chemical explosives, primitive nuclear devices. However, I am detecting anomalous energy signatures throughout their orbital space that do not match any known human technology in our databases. If you're intrigued by this tale of galactic espionage and human ingenuity, hit that subscribe button and give us a like. It helps us bring you more stories of humanity's hidden strengths among the stars. Zaraketh's crystalline form shimmered with concern as she processed sensor data through her quantum consciousness. Commander, I'm reading multiple artificial satellites in orbit around the planet. Far more than their technological level should support. Some of these objects appear to be unusual. Define unusual, Vexstar growled, his hunting instincts beginning to stir. Several satellites are emitting energy patterns that suggest they are not communication or observation platforms. The power signatures are consistent with weapon systems. Highly advanced weapon systems that appear to be based on principles I don't recognize. Earth's hidden arsenal. On Earth's surface, deep within the Cheyenne Mountain complex, Colonel Sarah Mitchell sat before a wall of monitors displaying real-time data from humanity's most classified defense network. NORAD had evolved far beyond its original purpose of tracking missiles and aircraft. Now, it monitored every cubic meter of space within the solar system, watching for threats that the public could never imagine. The facility itself was a marvel of human engineering. A city buried inside a mountain, protected by blast doors that could withstand direct nuclear strikes. Thousands of personnel worked around the clock, maintaining humanity's vigil against threats from beyond the stars. What the public saw as a simple missile defense system was actually the command center for the most sophisticated planetary defense grid in known space. But the true scope of Earth's defenses extended far beyond this single facility. Hidden throughout the solar system was a network of installations that would have staggered any galactic civilization. The Cerberus Array, a collection of weapon platforms disguised as asteroids, each one capable of generating particle beams with the destructive power of a small star. The Argus Network, thousands of quantum sensors that could detect gravitational distortions as small as a grain of sand from the edge of the solar system. The Prometheus stations, manufacturing facilities built inside hollowed-out moons, producing weapons and defenses using technologies reverse-engineered from decades of alien encounters. Journal, called Sarchote History Seish. His voice cut in through the bright hum of left right. We get here some interesting readings from the outer perimeter sensors. From Mitchell, Tersman and Sanction display. Her years of military experience are immediately recognizing the significance of what she was seeing. The display showed a three-dimensional map of the solar system, with thousands of green dots representing Earth's hidden assets. A single red blip had appeared at the edge of the grid, their uninvited guest. What kind of readings? She asked, though she already suspected the answer. Gravitational anomaly in Sector 7. It's subtle, barely registering on our instruments, but the pattern suggests an artificial object using some form of mass displacement technology. The signature is consistent with theoretical models for advanced stealth systems. The Colonel's expression hardened. For decades, Earth's military leaders had known they were being watched. Occasional visitors had been detected, studied, and in some cases, intercepted. Each encounter had taught humanity valuable lessons about the technologies and intentions of their galactic neighbors. More importantly, each encounter had revealed that humanity was not alone in the universe, and that most of their neighbors were hostile. Activate Protocol 7, Mitchell ordered, her voice carrying the authority of someone who had spent her entire career preparing for this moment. Full spectrum analysis. I want to know everything about our uninvited guests. The Watchers become the watched. Throughout the solar system, a network of hidden sensors came online. The Argus network was humanity's greatest achievement in surveillance technology. A web of quantum-entangled sensors that could track objects using principles that most galactic civilizations considered theoretical impossibilities. Each sensor was no larger than a basketball, disguised as space debris or hidden within the rings of gas giants. Together, they formed a detection grid that could track a single photon from the edge of the solar system to Earth's surface. Dr. Elena Vasquez, working in a laboratory that officially didn't exist, had spent 20 years developing the theoretical foundations for the Argus network. Her breakthrough had come from studying the wreckage of a Zephyrian scout ship that had been shot down over the Pacific in 2157. The aliens had been using quantum-entangled particles for faster-than-light communication. But Vasquez had realized the same principles could be used for instantaneous detection across vast distances. Initiating quantum resonance scanning, reported Lieutenant Commander Jackson from the sensor control station. If there's something out there using space-time manipulation for concealment, we'll find it. The Argus network began its scan, sending quantum pulses through the fabric of space-time itself. Unlike conventional sensors that relied on electromagnetic radiation, the quantum resonance system could detect the subtle distortions caused by any artificial object, regardless of its stealth capabilities. The technology was so advanced that even Earth's closest allies, if they had any, would have been stunned by its sophistication. Back aboard the Silent Observer, Nexus 7 suddenly straightened in his interface chair, his optical sensors flashing with alarm. Commander, I am detecting an increase in electromagnetic activity throughout the system. Multiple sources are coming online simultaneously. Vexstar's eyes narrowed, his predatory instincts screaming danger. Clarify. It appears the humans are activating some form of sensor network. The energy signatures are extensive, far more sophisticated than their apparent technological level should allow. I'm detecting quantum-level disturbances that suggest they're using principles that shouldn't be possible with their current understanding of physics. Zaraketh's form flickered with alarm as her quantum consciousness processed the implications. Commander, I'm reading active scanning beams. They're sweeping our position with technologies I don't recognize. The quantum signatures suggest they're manipulating space-time itself to detect us. Impossible! Vexstar snarled, his claws extending involuntarily. Our stealth technology is centuries ahead of anything these primitives possess. We've tested it against the most advanced detection systems in the galaxy. But even as he spoke, warning lights began flashing across their control panels. The ship's AI announced in its calm, mechanical voice. Alert! Hostile targeting systems have achieved lock. Multiple weapon signatures detected. Quantum-level targeting confirmed. Recommend immediate evasive action. The Prometheus Arsenal. On Earth, Colonel Mitchell watched as her technicians refined their target acquisition. The alien vessel was using technology that bent space-time around itself, but humanity had learned to detect such distortions years ago. Every piece of wreckage recovered from previous incursions had been studied, reverse-engineered, and incorporated into Earth's defenses. Target confirmed, reported Lieutenant Commander Jackson from the weapons control station. Unidentified vessel, approximately 100 meters in length, using advanced stealth technology. Configuration matches theoretical models for hegemony reconnaissance craft. Mitchell nodded and activated her command console, bringing online weapon systems that represented the pinnacle of human military engineering. The Prometheus arsenal consisted of 17 orbital platforms, each one disguised as a routine communications satellite. But beneath their mundane exteriors lay weapons that could crack moons. The primary weapon system was the Helios cannon, a particle accelerator that used controlled fusion reactions to generate beams of pure energy. Each cannon was powered by a miniaturized fusion reactor that produced more energy than most planetary power grids. The beams themselves were composed of accelerated hydrogen nuclei, moving at 97% the speed of light, and carrying enough kinetic energy to vaporize a city block. But the Helios cannons were just the beginning. The 4 arrays launched kinetic projectiles, tungsten rods the size of telephone poles that could strike targets with the force of nuclear weapons without the radiation. The Mjolnir platforms fired exotic matter warheads that could disrupt the fundamental forces holding matter together. And the Excalibur systems generated focused gravitational fields that could crush spacecraft like tin cans. "Sir," Jackson continued, "the target is attempting to transmit data to coordinates outside the system. Shall I jam their communications?" "Negative," Mitchell replied coldly. "Let them send their message. I want their friends to know exactly what happened here. Then make sure they can't send another one. All weapons, fire." The galaxy's response. What happened next would have been invisible to civilian observers on Earth's surface. But the destruction of the Silent Observer sent shockwaves across the galaxy that would reshape interstellar politics for centuries to come. 17 different weapon systems fired simultaneously, their combined energy output equivalent to a small star going supernova. The alien ship's shields, designed to deflect conventional energy weapons, lasted exactly 0.3 seconds against humanity's hybrid technology. A fusion of human engineering and alien principles learned from decades of covert research. The first salvo overloaded the ship's stealth generators, causing the vessel to shimmer into visibility like a mirage, becoming solid. The second salvo punched through their defensive screens and tore into the hull. The third salvo found their reactor core and turned the Silent Observer into a brief, brilliant star against the darkness of space. Vexfar had just enough time to transmit a single, desperate message to the Hegemony fleet waiting at the edge of the system. Humans possess advanced defensive capabilities. They knew we were here. They were ready. They have been studying our technology for decades. They are not what we believe them to be. They are... The transmission cut off as the reconnaissance ship became scattered atoms drifting through the void. At the edge of the solar system, the Hegemony battle fleet received the transmission with growing horror. Admiral Kefar read the partial message 3 times before its implications fully sank in. The humans had detected their most advanced stealth ship and destroyed it with apparent ease. More disturbing was the suggestion that Earth had been studying alien technology for decades. "Analysis?" Kefar demanded from his tactical officer. "Sir, the transmission indicates that the humans possess detection capabilities far beyond our estimates. They were able to track and target a ship using quantum phase stealth technology. This suggests access to scientific principles that should be beyond their current understanding. More concerning is the implication that they have been preparing for contact with hostile forces for an extended period." The Admiral stared at the tactical display showing the Sol system, a small, unremarkable star with a handful of rocky planets. One of those planets had just demonstrated that it possessed military capabilities that could threaten the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. What's your favorite military strategy game or sci-fi movie that features advanced surveillance technology? Drop it in the comments below. We'd love to know what tactical stories inspire you. Galactic consequences. The destruction of the Silent Observer triggered a cascade of reactions throughout galactic civilization that would fundamentally alter the balance of power among the stars. Within hours of the hegemony fleet's return, encrypted communications began flowing between the capitals of every major galactic power. The Zephyrian Empire, the Vorphan Collective, the Gorlak Dominion, and dozens of smaller civilizations all received the same disturbing intelligence. Earth was not the primitive world they had believed it to be. On Zephyria Prime, Empress Veltara convened an emergency session of the Imperial War Council. The crystalline beings that comprised her government flickered with agitation as they processed the implications of the hegemony's report. The humans destroyed a hegemony stealth ship, announced War Minister Kexthul, his form pulsing with nervous energy. Not only did they detect it, they eliminated it with weapons that our intelligence services cannot identify. More disturbing, added Intelligence Director Nix Ara, is the suggestion that they have been studying our technologies for decades. Every missing ship, every unexplained disappearance in that sector, it appears the humans have been responsible. The Empress's form darkened with concern. How many of our own ships have vanished in that region? 17 confirmed losses over the past 50 years, Nixara replied, all officially attributed to navigation errors or equipment failures. The implications were staggering. If the humans had been systematically destroying alien vessels for decades, they possessed not only advanced defensive capabilities, but also the strategic patience to maintain the deception while studying their enemies. On the collective homeworld, the cybernetic intelligences that governed Vorphan society processed the information with mechanical precision. Their analysis was even more disturbing than the organic species' emotional reactions. Probability assessment complete, announced Prime Node Alpha 7. The humans have achieved technological parity with galactic civilization through reverse engineering captured alien technology. Estimated timeline for this development, 50 to 75 Earth years. Strategic implications? Queried Node Beta 3. Severe. If the humans have been studying our technologies while maintaining the appearance of primitiveness, they possess strategic deception capabilities that exceed our models. Recommendation: immediate revision of threat assessment protocols. The Gorlak Dominion's response was more direct. General Fokvar, his massive frame towering over the war room displays, slammed his fist on the tactical table with enough force to crack the reinforced surface. "The humans have made fools of us all," he roared. "While we debated whether they were worthy of contact, they were building weapons to destroy our ships." "What are your orders, General?" asked his aide. Fokvar stared at the star map showing the Sol system, now marked with warning indicators that designated it as a high-threat zone. "Issue a fleet-wide advisory. No Gorlak vessel is to approach the human system without explicit authorization from this command. And begin development of countermeasures for their detection systems." Earth's Secret Guardians. 3 hours after the destruction of the Silent Observer, recovery teams launched from hidden bases throughout the solar system. These weren't NASA missions or civilian space operations. They were military salvage crews trained to collect and analyze alien technology. Every piece of debris would be catalogued, studied, and added to humanity's growing understanding of galactic military capabilities. Captain Marcus Torres commanded the recovery operation from his stealth frigate Shadowhawk, one of 12 vessels in Earth's classified deep space fleet. Unlike the public space program, these ships were built using hybrid technology that combined human engineering with alien principles learned from decades of covert research. Recovery teams, this is Shadowhawk Actual, Torres announced over the encrypted comm channel. Target debris field is spread across approximately 50,000 cubic kilometers. Standard salvage protocols are in effect. Remember, we want every piece larger than a marble. The recovery ships moved through the debris field like mechanical vultures, their specialized equipment designed to collect and preserve alien materials. Each fragment would be transported to one of Earth's hidden research facilities, where teams of scientists would spend months unlocking its secrets. Dr. Elena Vasquez, head of the Xenotechnology Research Division, watched the recovery operation from her command center, buried beneath the Nevada desert. The facility was a maze of clean rooms, testing chambers and analysis stations, where humanity's brightest minds worked to unlock the secrets of alien science. Another successful field test, she noted in her classified report. The orbital defense grid performed flawlessly. Target was detected, tracked, and eliminated with zero collateral damage. Recommend continued monitoring for additional reconnaissance attempts. The alien stealth technology was impressive, but not beyond human comprehension. Vasquez's team had been studying similar systems for decades, ever since the first alien scout ship had been shot down over Roswell in 1947. Within weeks, her team would understand its principles and develop countermeasures. But the true significance of the encounter went beyond the technology recovered. The destruction of the Silent Observer had sent a clear message to the galaxy. Earth was defended, and those defenses were far more sophisticated than anyone had imagined. The Watchers Network. What the aliens didn't understand was that humanity had been preparing for this kind of encounter for over 70 years. The modern defense grid was the culmination of a project that had begun in the aftermath of the Roswell incident, when the US military had recovered its first piece of alien technology. General Marcus Webb, director of the Extraterrestrial Defense Initiative, reviewed the mission reports in his Pentagon office. The EDI was humanity's most classified organization, tasked with defending Earth against threats that the public could never imagine. Its budget was hidden in black projects, its personnel recruited from the most elite military units, and its mission was simple: ensure that humanity survived contact with hostile alien civilizations. 17 confirmed kills this year alone, Webb noted as he updated the classified database. No survivors, no intelligence leaks. The secret remains secure. The EDI's operations extended far beyond Earth's orbital defenses. Hidden throughout the solar system were monitoring stations that tracked every ship, every signal, every quantum fluctuation that might indicate alien activity. The Heimdall stations, built inside hollowed-out asteroids, maintained constant surveillance of the approaches to Earth. The Odin arrays, disguised as scientific research platforms, monitored subspace communications across dozens of star systems. Most impressive of all was the Ragnarok Protocol, a contingency plan that could turn the entire solar system into a weapon. If Earth were ever threatened with extinction, the protocol would detonate specially placed charges throughout the asteroid belt, creating a debris field that would make interstellar travel through the system impossible for thousands of years. It was humanity's ultimate deterrent. If they couldn't survive, they would ensure that no one else could claim their territory. Dr. Sarah Chen, working in a facility that didn't appear on any official maps, analysed communication intercepts from across the galaxy. The destruction of the Hegemony scout ship had triggered a wave of fear among Earth's potential enemies. Species that had been planning invasion fleets were suddenly reconsidering their strategies. The psychological impact has been significant, Chen reported to her superiors. Multiple civilizations are now treating Earth as a potential threat rather than a target. Our defensive demonstration has achieved strategic deterrence without revealing the full extent of our capabilities. The intercepts painted a picture of a galaxy in turmoil. The revelation that humans possessed advanced military capabilities had shattered decades of assumptions about Earth's place in the cosmic order. Some species were calling for immediate military action against the human threat, while others advocated for diplomatic contact to avoid provoking a war they might not win. The price of secrecy. Colonel Mitchell returned to her command center, knowing that the next phase of humanity's preparation was about to begin. The galaxy now knew that Earth was defended, but they didn't know how or by what. That uncertainty would buy humanity time to complete their most ambitious project yet: the development of faster-than-light travel. The public remained unaware of the cosmic drama playing out around them, protected by carefully maintained cover stories and classified protocols. But behind the scenes, thousands of men and women worked tirelessly to ensure that humanity would be ready when the day came to take their place among the stars. Lieutenant Colonel James Crawford, working in a laboratory beneath Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, studied fragments of the alien ship's hull. The material was unlike anything in Earth's periodic table, a metamaterial that could manipulate electromagnetic radiation at the quantum level. Within months, his team would understand its properties and begin incorporating them into humanity's own stealth technology. The implications are staggering, Crawford noted in his research log. This single encounter has advanced our understanding of material science by decades. If we can reverse engineer this technology, our own spacecraft will be virtually undetectable. The fragments would join thousands of other alien artifacts in Earth's hidden vaults, a treasure trove of advanced technology that had been accumulated over decades of covert operations. Each piece represented a step forward in humanity's understanding of galactic science, bringing them closer to the day when they would no longer need to hide behind defensive screens. But the cost of maintaining Earth's secret was enormous. Thousands of personnel lived double lives, working on projects that officially didn't exist, while maintaining cover stories that kept their families and friends in the dark. The psychological toll was severe. Many of the scientists and military officers involved in the program suffered from stress-related disorders that couldn't be treated by conventional medicine. Dr. Michael Harrison, the EDI's chief psychologist, worked to support the mental health of personnel who carried the weight of humanity's greatest secret. The isolation is the hardest part, he noted in his confidential reports. These people know that the survival of our species depends on their work, but they can never share that burden with anyone outside the program. The next time alien scouts came looking for human military secrets, they would find the same thing their predecessors had discovered. Humanity's greatest secret was that they had no secrets from those who truly mattered, and no mercy for those who threatened their world. When humans finally reached for stars, they would not come as explorers or diplomats. They would come as the apex predators of a species that had spent millennia perfecting the art of war, armed with technologies that combined the best of human ingenuity with the accumulated knowledge of dozens of alien civilizations. The galaxy had tried to study Earth's military secrets, and learned that some secrets were too dangerous to uncover. In the end, the Watchers had become the watched, and the Hunters had become the hunted. If this story of human preparedness and hidden strength resonated with you, please subscribe to Apex Fleet HFY for more tales of humanity's secret guardians among the stars. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments what you think makes humanity's defensive capabilities so formidable. Until next time, remember, we may appear peaceful, but we're always watching, always learning, and always ready to defend our home.